Hi everybody, I'm Megan Silverstrom with Public Safety, and welcome to what is the first of a series of video blogs we're going to be doing for Cybersecurity Awareness Month. With me today is Sherry Batesel from Cumberland County's Information Management Technology Office, and she has graciously agreed to answer a few questions for us today. Sherry, could you start off by telling us a little bit about yourself and what you do for the county?
Okay, currently I am the Security Technical Manager. I've worked for the county for 15 years. I actually started as a receptionist in Children and Youth Department. And then in the evenings I went back to school at Harrisburg Area Community College and I obtained my Microsoft certifications. After that I applied for a position in IMTO to do their purchasing, actually. And I started the help desk from there. Well, while I was on help desk the one day, people started calling in saying they received this email and it had this picture, and it was a picture supposedly of Anna Kournikovich, and that it was doing weird things in their inbox. So I had someone forward it to me, and of course I opened it up and I clicked on it. And it did some really cool things. All these things started to flash, and it started to show like I had thousands of emails. And so of course I helped to spread that virus. Well, when the guys came back into the office, they said, okay, you can spread it, you can fix it. So I went around helping them to fix this virus that I helped spread. And from that, I got interested in security, and they actually made me the manager of the antivirus protection. They figured they could use that ability that I had to spread them to stop them from spreading. So then for years I was the administrator of the antivirus protection, and then we started getting into patch management and not having the computers just patch themselves whenever. So I became the manager of the patch management system. And then it went on from there to add on more security products and that kind of thing. And that's how I became the manager of the security part. And now I administer those patches, but I manage the people that do like the antivirus. We have a system information management system, security information management system. We call it a SIM. And I manage that. Basically what that does is get information in, and it pulls all that data together from the different servers, different equipment, and correlates it and says, you have a real security problem with this because I see it coming from here, here, and here. And so it's a great system to have. So.
Great. So you are very well versed in security and have some firsthand experience with it. It is Cybersecurity Month in Cumberland County. Can you tell us a little bit about what cybersecurity is for the general public?
Cybersecurity is just protecting information, and it does that by preventing, detecting, and looking and responding to potential attacks or risks that are out there. Information can be anything. You think of it as, okay, that's where I store my data and that's actually my documents. No, that's not just it. It's also email, cell phones, data that's stored on cell phones, any access to the internet, online access. Like in the case of the nursing home, there's medical records, there's HIPAA standards as far as medical records. 911 has records that of course are very secure and can't get out there to everyone. And the risks that we talk about, the potential risks, are like viruses. They can be someone breaking into a computer. They can be someone changing data intentionally. It can be changing a file and you did it by accident. You didn't really mean to make the change, and you overwrote something that was there. And it could even be someone sitting down at an open desk and using our equipment to do things they shouldn't, to attack maybe other companies. So it's coming from us. And then there's, of course, stealing personal information and county data information.
I think it's a great point that you make, that not all cybersecurity issues are malicious or intentional, that sometimes it's folks just accidentally altering records. So I think that's a great point for everyone to remember. Cybersecurity is something that you're obviously very passionate about and something that's important to your field, but why is it important to the everyday internet user and cell phone user and email user?
Cybersecurity is a shared responsibility, and that's kind of what National Cybersecurity Awareness Month is about, to get out that information that it is truly a shared responsibility and everybody has a role. I use an example. I could lock all computers and systems from getting out to the internet. Well, you wouldn't be able to do your job very effective anymore. You need to get there to get data, get information, stay up to date, stay ahead of the like criminals as far as, in different areas. You just need to get out to the internet. Well, once you open up the internet, it's like having your home and you just open the door. Now you've got to stop certain things from coming through that door, but yet you've got to allow access through that door. You've got to leave it open, or otherwise you can't accomplish your job. So in doing that, we really have to understand what the job is you do and exactly what sort of communication you are doing over the internet or with your data in order for us to be able to protect it. And it truly is a shared responsibility. You could still click on an email and that has a link and open up that link. It takes you out to the internet, but I've got to block that potential risk, but I've still got to allow you to get out to the internet because you may need to click on something else to go out to the internet. So it becomes quite a balancing act, and you really do need everyone to pay attention to what risks are out there and to basically stop and think before they click on that link or whatever.
Right, great. Can you tell us a little bit about the technology that the county uses? I know the county recently won an award for their great use of technology, so there's a lot out there, and why it's important for the county and its staff to remain secure, and why that information is very important to keep secure.
The first thing I think of when you ask that question is email. Of course, that's a great piece of technology that we've had for quite a while, but as of now, the average amount of spam we receive a day is 99%. Only 1% is good emails.
Oh, wow. That's astounding.
So it's a huge percentage of all emails that are truly spam. You can only block so much. They used to block by content, and like say in the subject, it had some sort of name or something that you could latch onto, that they always sent spam with that subject. Well, they'll continue to change in order to get to the user, so that you'll click on those links and get those viruses or malware or whatever else, or that they can steal data. Recently we had a case where we had blocked the majority of a spam email that went out, and only 11 of them were able to get through to our users. Well, that's fantastic compared to how many, thousands, hundreds of thousands we get a day. But 11 got through. One user clicked on the link and gave out password information, gave out domain information. That one link enabled people to use that and get in and get data to everything that user could access. So email is one of the technologies and that we use, and we use plenty of filters, spam filters. Like I said, we do filter out 99%, and that is very, very good. And for this last spam email to only get 11 through, the percentage that's getting through is so very low, but it only takes one click.
Right, definitely something important to remember. What steps does the county take to make sure that its networks and information are secure?
Most security teams go on a model that they call the CIA triangle: confidentiality, integrity, and availability. And that is what we are based on here at the county. Confidentiality is making sure that people who are to access a file or a certain area have access to that, but people that aren't to have access to that file or database or that information don't have access to that information. So it's in keeping with that confidentiality. Integrity is assuring that only a person authorized to change the information can change the information. And that also deals with having proper backups and the ability to restore data quickly so that users can stay available, which is the last part of the triangle. All information has to stay available to all users. So we want to make sure that no one takes down our systems, no one breaks our systems, no one's able to change data or alter that data that makes it, the integrity of the data, just worthless. But we use so many tools and resources that we have. Endpoint protection is one of those. That's basically what's replaced what most people know as antivirus. It does so much more than just protect us from viruses. It protects us from malware, spyware, people getting in. It controls like firewall access. At home, you should be using your firewall. In here, you know, of course, we have that in with our endpoint protection. Of course, like I said earlier, there's a SIM, which is a Security Information Management System. It correlates logs and reports on incidents that are really important to us and critical to us. We also do training to the staff, at least yearly, but we try and use opportunities like this to pass on more information and training to everyone.
Great. So it sounds like the county really uses the approach of technology that's available, but also making sure staff is responding appropriately.
Yes.
Like that. Final question of the day, Sherry, is when it comes to cybersecurity, what is the number one thing that you think people should keep in mind?
Stop and think before you click. And I do love this campaign because it does say stop and think before you connect. And that's not just on the internet. That could be even on your cell phone. Before you download an app, stop and think. Read that fine print. Before you pick up your telephone, stop and think before you give someone all your information. Tell them your first pet, where you went to school. All those are security questions on banking sites and other security sites. Just simply stop and think. And I've heard so many times people say it's so complicated and how do you do it, and think of all those different types of malware, risks, viruses. It just comes down to stop and think and look at it, read it before you do the clicking. And it's just as simple as that. It's really very simple. And I have a lot of people also say, well, I don't have time to do that. I'm just going to click on it. Well, it may cost you more time and more money in the long run if you click on something. And then my personal opinion of something that is really important is just keep in mind nothing's really is free. And if something looks too good to be true, it probably is.
All right. Well, thank you for coming out. That's going to conclude our interview for today. You heard it from the expert to stop, think, and connect, and we'll see you guys next week for another video blog.